Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. And today we're actually looking at my squash patch. I was so excited about my squash. I planted 110 hills of squash, butternut squash. I was so excited, and then we got a heavy frost on September the 18th. I can't help but think how frustrating it is with all that work. I remember back there early on in the season when I was doing Words of Wisdom and we had that snow, and I was predicting that it was going to be a late crop, and I was thinking, are we going to get our beans in? And right now guys are combining the beans and they're saying it's the best yield ever next to 2012. We're right now in front of the old cabin from Wreckton camp. And today I want to talk about sometimes when something bad happens, we think that it's the end of the world and we're thinking no good can come. And you know, Wreckton camp closed down and everyone was upset. I was a counselor there for years. Everyone was upset. Like, that was a campground and so many memories. I went there this summer. Wow, it's beautiful. Nice washrooms, beautiful cut yard, open to the public, and the beautiful beach. It's incredible. So what seemingly was such a sad thing when that closed down opened up from the township and is open to the public. It's amazing. I look at these squash and say, can anything good happen? I see a few bottom leaves and they're still filling out. But maybe, just maybe, I put too much time in my squash patch and maybe should put more time into visiting people or talking to people or sharing with people. Maybe I've put so much focus on my gardens that maybe I need to take a break from it. Or maybe, just maybe, the soybeans needed that frost to freeze off a few patches of weeds, and I'd save myself all that trouble of a plug combine. You know, Paul says in 2 Corinthians 12, he talks about him going through this ailment or this thorn or this handicap in his life. And it says 3 times he pleaded with the Lord and said, take this from me. And the Lord said, no, my grace is enough. It's all you need. My strength comes into its own in the midst of your weakness. And once Paul heard this, he was glad and he quit focusing on that handicap and began to appreciate the gift. You see, when we rely on God's strength, in the midst of stuff that just seems messed up. I did a funeral just over a year ago, and the woman told me, the wife, and this is, they'd been married for going on 50 years, and she had said that she had a rough first marriage, and she had a 1.5-year-old baby waiting, and she called for a ride to get out of there, and she said the worst day of her life completely turned around. In fact, the cab driver that came and picked her up, actually, she married him and had kids and a wonderful life. And she said to me, quote unquote, what was the worst day of my life, the seemingly worst day of my life, turned out to be the very best. In the midst of questions, in the midst of why did this happen? God's at work and there's good that can come from it. Quit focusing on your weakness and rely on God's strength. And that's been Wednesday's Words of Wisdom from the farm. Take care. God bless.